Trade winds have been blowing like crazy over the last 24 hours, and the Eagles, they've been linked to just about every situation going on in the NFL, from Nate Sudfeld getting traded, to Alshon Jeffrey getting traded, to a running back getting traded to Houston for Jadeveon Clowney. The Eagles have been linked to just about everything, and I do think trades are coming. It just may not be the ones you think.
Hail the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly.
Scary Cooper, asshole.
Oh, Diva! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks.
Everybody do King Thing back here, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend, a good Sunday. What a crazy 24 hours in the NFL. This whole preseason, just some of the storylines going on has been absolutely insane. And we're going to get into it in a minute, but first, I got to give a huge shout out to Paperboy926. He was my first subscriber that I played in Madden. He's the first guy that wanted some of this, and we went toe-to-toe last night, and let me tell you, somebody had a rude awakening. Somebody had to learn the hard way. 35-0 slacking. He double moonwalked my ass. I got killed 35-0 by this dude. He destroyed me. It was brutal. It was a rude awakening. I got double moonwalked in the ass, 35-0. I stink. But I don't care. That won't happen again. I ain't losing to any more you peoples. A matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. I was thinking about this, and I'm going to say, the person this year, leading up until the last Eagles regular season game, week 17, when the Eagles are finished the regular season schedule, the person who beats me by the most points, will win a $30 gift certificate to NFL Shop. I'll give you a $30 gift certificate to NFL Shop. So it's quite simple. All you have to do is beat me by more than the 35 points that Paperboy926 beat me by, and you win a $30 gift card to NFL Shop. I don't want mercy. I don't want people giving me mercy. If you could beat me by 100 points, do it. If you could beat me by 200 points, do it. But it ain't happening again. But this is the deal. You beat me, the bigger beating I take, you win it. You win the $30 gift card. So right now, Paperboy926, he's beat me by 35 points. He's in the lead. The rest of you want some of this? Come get it. Let's go. I will double moonwalk your asses. I'm ready. I had my one bad game. No more. But shout out to Paperboy926. I had a lot of fun. Great guy, nice guy, and I enjoyed playing with you. Can't wait to do it again, because I definitely want a rematch. So some really big, earth-shattering NFL news last night. I'm watching the Dallas Cowboys game, watching them, give the Texans a beatings, because the Cowboys, look, they're the only team that really wants to win the preseason. That's what I think. They're one of two teams that actually care about winning the preseason. But I'm watching the game, and I get this alert on my phone saying Andrew Luck retires, and I'm thinking, this has got to be a joke. This has got to be a typo. Somebody hacked some account and sent this out to everybody. No way. Andrew Luck is retiring. Sure enough, Andrew Luck is retiring. Holy crap! I could not believe it, dude. All I can say is thank goodness my fantasy drafts weren't yet. I have one today. I would have took Andrew Luck in the draft. I would definitely took him. So that would have really screwed us. And at least we know he's retired now. You don't take him. But crazy happenings with Andrew Luck. And did you see him get booed off the field? I'm sorry. If that was Philly, we would be getting killed. It would be on every national TV channel. We would be getting killed. And I'm going to say this. And Eagle fans, well, most Eagle fans, I don't think would ever boo him like that. I don't think so. We would respect somebody that gave everything, that gave their body to football. You know what I mean? We would. To see that was pretty horrible. Andrew Luck deserves better than that. I wish him the best. And I'm going to say this about the whole Andrew Luck situation, and we'll see down the road. But when I watched his press conference, he looked like Dick Vermeil to me. It reminded me of Dick Vermeil retiring with the Eagles. Andrew Luck looked burnt out. He looked burnt out, and it would not surprise me. And I was telling Josh from the Sports Fury, shout out to the Sports Fury, But I was telling him, I said, don't be surprised if in a year or 2 years, Andrew Luck comes back. Because he just looks mentally burnt out to me, you know? And he's 29 years old. Let's say he takes 2 years off, heals his body, clears his mind, and he decides, hey, I want to come back. He's only 31 years old. He still could play 4 or 5 more years. It is possible that Andrew Luck returns. Look, maybe I'm a sucker for a feel-good, comeback story, but I just don't feel like this is the last of Andrew Luck in the NFL. I think he'll be back. I just think he's burnt out. He just looks burnt out to me. That's all I can say about Andrew Luck. And of course, I wish him the well. I wish him the best. God bless him, his family. Whatever he does, whether he does come back or not, great NFL player. I always was a big fan of Andrew Luck. And, it's funny because one of the rumors going around today is that the Eagles might be interested in trading Nate Sudfeld to the Colts because Frank Reich knows Nate Sudfeld and they would be interested. I guess maybe they tried to get him on the roster in 2017. Indianapolis did. So there's possibilities that Nate Sudfeld could be a Colt. I don't think this is happening. I don't think the Eagles are going to trade Nate Sudfeld to the Colts, even though we got McCown. I think the Eagles are going to make sure they have 2 capable backup quarterbacks in a situation that Carson Wentz gets hurt. Now, one thing I got to mention real quick is Elliott Shore-Parks. Elliott Shore-Parks comes out and says, the Eagles should have franchised Nick Foles. See, I told everybody they should have franchised. They could have traded him to the Colts. Well, how are you supposed to know that Andrew Luck is going to retire 2 weeks before the season? Really? How are you going to know? And you're going to pay a guy $20 million in hopes that something like this happens? It makes no sense. You would have screwed up the Eagles all season. The way Howie Roseman moved around the money, came up with cap space, could never have happened if you had to pay Nick Foles that initial franchise tag money. It wouldn't have happened. You would have screwed your whole season up. Howie Roseman did the right thing. So when I hear that, I think it's totally ridiculous to act like Howie Roseman made a big mistake by not franchising Nick Foles, okay? You just have to say that. Now, there are some other rumors going on with the Eagles. There's one that is not going to happen. There's one that has a slight chance of happening. There's one that has a better chance. And then there's ones that I think will happen. So let's get into all of them real quick, okay? Alshon Jeffrey, he was rumored yesterday. People were saying, watch Alshon, he could be on the move, he could be traded. This ain't happening. Alshon Jeffrey's going nowhere. No chance, zero. It's not happening. They are not trading Alshon Jeffrey this year. It's not going to happen. Now, next year, you have to watch. Because of his cap money, because of his dead money hit, it's not that much, and the Eagles cap situation, there could be some situation where they might move him, especially if Arcega-Whiteside is ready to take that next step. But this year, Alshon Jeffrey ain't going nowhere. He's staying in Philly. They want him. They want Deshaun. They're going on a run. We're going on a run. So this has zero chance of happening. Eagle fans, don't worry. Alshon goes nowhere, okay? Now, the slight chance of a trade that I'm going to talk about is one that I think is a slight chance. I'll say 10% chance this trade happens. And that is Jadeveon Clowney. The Eagles continue to be linked to Jadeveon Clowney. I think the Texans, they lost an offensive tackle. They lost a running back yesterday. And it could be a situation where, Jadeveon Clowney is hung out there as trade bait. Now, several teams have been in contact with the Texans, including the Eagles, according to reports. I think that there's a slight chance of this happening. The Eagles would have to not give up a lot for Jadeveon Clowney, because the question would be, if they trade for Jadeveon Clowney, can they sign him long-term with the contract and their cap situation, or would he be a one-year rental? And that would be the question. You're not going to give a lot for a one-year rental. So, we would have to see. But I will say this. I would love to have Jadeveon Clowney. I would make it work. I would find a way. I would bring him in and then figure out later, I want Jadeveon Clowney, okay? I do, but I still think it's not likely to happen, okay? Now, one possibility of a trade that I think could possibly happen with the Texans would be the Eagles trading a running back, a guy like Wendell Smallwood, to the Houston Texans. I know it wouldn't be Howard. I know it wouldn't be Miles Sanders, okay? They're not going to trade them. But the Texans lost Lamar Miller to a torn ACL yesterday, and they're going to need a running back. They did get Duke Johnson, but they're going to need somebody else. Maybe they go get Wendell Smallwood. Maybe they package Big V, because they also lost, I think, another offensive lineman. So maybe Big V, Wendell Smallwood to Houston for like a draft pick or something else. Not Jadeveon Clowney, because I don't think it would be enough. But, you could see a situation where maybe Wendell Smallwood gets traded or something like that. I totally could see happening, okay? So keep your eyes on that. Now, if I'm the Texans, I'm calling the Chargers. I'm trying to get Melvin Gordon. That's what I would do if I was the Texans. But watch Wendell Smallwood, watch Houston Texans, because I wouldn't be surprised Big V or Wendell Smallwood or both end up in Houston. Now, the trades that I think are coming, I think are going to possibly be the Eagles and one of these defensive ends. I think the Eagles got a lot of defensive ends here. Okay, you look at Deshaun Hall, you look at Josh Sweat, you look at Sharif Miller. How are you going to keep all these guys? I don't know that they can. I don't know if you're going to be able. If Sharif Miller doesn't have an itchy ass, what are you going to do? You're going to cut him? You're going to cut him? I mean, what are you going to do? I wouldn't be surprised if you see a Josh Sweat get moved. I'm just saying, I know this may be out there, it may shock a few people, but this is something I could see happening because the Eagles can't keep all those defensive ends. Unless they're in a situation where they could package a Josh Sweat with a Wendell Smallwood, Big V, and a pick and get Jadeveon Clowney or something like that, I think they're going to have to move on from one of these guys. They're going to have to make some tough cuts. So when you look at some of these tough cuts, like the running back situation, like the defensive end situation, those are the kind of trades I think they're going to make. They're going to be small, minor trades, but they're going to basically tweak our roster. And I think that's what I expect to come. And I got a feeling one of these defensive ends is going to be on the move. But that's just my opinion. What are your guys' opinion? What do you think's going on out there? What do you think the Eagles are going to do? Are they going to make any trades or are they going to not make any? I think they're going to make some small trades, not big trades. I hope Jadeveon Clowney will be great. I think there'll be some minor tweaks, minor trades, those kind of things. But I don't see anything big. But you never know with Howie Roseman. You never know. And let me know what you think in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.